can we just agree that it doesn't matter what point in your life you are? You will always have a problem. There will always be chaos. There will always be something that you have to do. And you will ultimately always be in the storm. All right, so once we actually agree with that, then what are you trying to escape? There's no point in trying to escape your reality. There's no point in trying to escape the storm that you're in. Whatever storm this is, it is not meant to be escaped. This storm is meant to forge you. You're meant to find peace in it. And if you can find peace in the storm, then you can find peace anywhere in life, at any point in life. So I'm in the most chaotic point in my life that ever happened, where I have so many problems, but I don't even see them as problems. I just see them as like opportunities. I have so many things that are forging me. I have so many things that are testing me for my dream life. And with that, I've been really trying to escape it. Because like I'm in college right now, right? I'm grinding on my business. I'm learning a lifelong skill, right? I'm in high ticket sales and I'm trying to, gain financial freedom. I'm trying to gain financial freedom so I can get out of here, so I can actually live the most fulfilling life that I possibly can. And I'm documenting the process on YouTube for people to watch, because this is something that I wish I had, right? I mean, there's so much going on, right? I have to balance school, I have to balance content, my personal brand, learning sales. I have all these calls. I'm on like 3 different offers right now, and offers like a job in high ticket sales. And I have to balance all my mindset. I'm like battling food addiction. I literally have like a food addiction right now. But it's like a dopamine. It's really just a dopamine addiction, because I do a lot of work. Like I'm always working on something, and like I'm always grinding, right? And I try to find dopamine in other things. I try to find dopamine in like food. So I've resorted to food because it's comfortable, it's predictable. And a lot of the things I'm doing right now is uncomfortable. I'm taking a lot of action. I'm putting myself in a lot of uncomfortable situations, which is very good, but my brain wants dopamine. That makes sense. So I've been falling to, my old habits, right? So that's also something I'm dealing with. Probably the main thing is like my dopamine addiction. Not dopamine addiction, but like my natural desire for dopamine. So there's obviously a lot of chaos, right? And for the first like month of college, like it wasn't too bad. Like I wasn't too stressed. I was getting sunlight every morning, right? I was going on like walks every day. Even right when I got into high ticket sales, right? It was like a new opportunity. I just bought a $3,000 program, right? So right when I made that decision, I had that like huge emotional high, right? I was like, holy shit, right? Everyone has that like high, right, when they purchase something big or right when they start something new. So like life was really good, and then the dip came, right? My life like this, I started to get really anxious. I'm not gonna lie, like I was very miserable, and the only thing that was keeping me like afloat, my mental health afloat, was food. That's why I got so attached to food, because obviously like I've been trying to eat. Well, I've been not trying to, but I eat as healthy as I possibly can. Like my diet is grass-fed ground beef, like white rice, eggs, and fruit. That's it. I don't even eat chicken anymore, right? Unless I go to the dining hall, obviously. But my core diet and the things I have in my dorm are those things. But like, why? Why do I eat healthy when it would be so convenient to just go to the dining hall? I could literally, Go there. I don't have to do any dishes. I don't have to cook. I can just go there, eat, and leave. Why not just do that? It is simply because I want to put myself in the most optimized and best state that I possibly can to fulfill my purpose. Because when we eat these foods that are processed, when we eat junk food, when we eat dining hall food, when we eat foods that people we don't want to be like are eating, we start to become them. If you want to be extraordinary, you have to do the complete opposite of what other people are doing. Like, I'm literally walking around. No one is making content. No one's filming YouTube videos. No one is trying to get to financial freedom. No one is eating as healthy as they possibly can, optimizing their life in every way. Right? I'm not saying I'm better than everyone, but I'm just saying because of this, because I have these natural dreams and desires, I simply have to do the complete opposite of what other people are doing. And that comes with a lot of like fear of missing out, comes with a lot of anxiety. Like, I obviously my whole life I tried to fit in, and that ultimately made me stick out. And once I started going after my purpose, once I started actually pushing past the grain, I actually felt alive. So yesterday I probably had the lowest point in my entire life. I won't say the lowest point. I think I was the most stressed in my entire life. Like, it was just like overwhelming stress because of the storm that I'm in, with all these problems, with all these opportunities, with all this pressure that I'm going through. But I almost came to a breaking point. And I was also sick too. I've been sick the past couple days. There's been sicknesses floating around in college, right? So I almost reached a breaking point. And the thing that got me out of that was journaling, right? I went to the library. I was like overwhelmed as fuck. I literally went to the gym while sick too. Like, I was that like claustrophobic. I was that like stressed to a point where I had to like let out this energy, because energy is transferable. So I took that energy, I went to the gym even when I was sick, and I gave it my all. I let it out, and then I didn't know where to go after the gym. Right? I felt like shit. I was sick. I mean, it helped a little bit, like going to the gym. Then I went to the library and I just journaled. I think journaling like actually saved my life. I'm not even joking. Like, journaling literally just like, it saved me. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, you need to put your thoughts somewhere. Your thoughts can't just be put in your head. You'll eventually crack. That pressure and all these thoughts and all these problems that you have, they need to be put somewhere. So put them on paper. Just write them out. Write down everything, just off the cuff. That's why I'm making these videos. I just go off the cuff. This is like therapy for me. This is like how I get in a flow state. This helps my mental health. So yeah, so I was in the library and I literally was just like reaching a breaking point. But what did I actually journal about? I actually have my journal with me. I think I journaled like where is it? Oh, it's in my backpack. I think I journaled like 3 or 4 pages. I was in like a library study room. I literally walked into the study room and there was like SpongeBob characters on the whiteboard, and the room literally smelled like perfume. So that was definitely not the best place, but that's college. But yeah, so yeah, I started with, this is probably one of the hardest, that's a lot, bro. It's deep as fuck. This is it. I mean, I said this is probably one of the hardest, weeks of my entire life. No, the hardest day in my entire life. I corrected myself. That's what's so amazing about journaling. You can literally recorrect your mind. Like, this isn't the hardest week. This is probably the hardest day. right? You need to rework your minds, and you do that by journaling. Yep. I felt claustrophobic. I feel like I'm about to explode. Yeah. And I'm not gonna lie, I let out a few tears when I was, um, journaling this, but they were good tears. They weren't sad tears. I started to, I started to reflect kind of on like why I started this, because before I started content, right, my whole life I've been invisible to other people. I've been forgettable. I've always been a forgettable person. I've never been seen, and that genuinely drove me to start content because I want to be seen. I want to create impact, and I had this thought of like, and I didn't choose to consume this thought, right? Because I have these negative thoughts all the time. I'm not a negative person, but my mind likes to create negative thoughts, but they're not even my thoughts. But anyway, I had this thought that I was happier before I started content, before I started going on this journey of evolution. Life was easier before I had all these problems, before I was in this storm. And I actually had that thought, and I actually believed it for a sec. This wasn't while I was journaling, but I think it was just while I was in the gym. I was like, bro, why am I even doing this? Like, why am I putting myself through all this pain? And it is simply because before I started going after my purpose, before I started to do what actually matters, before I started to do what I was actually putting myself to do, I was nothing. I was just floating in the wind. I was just a speck of dust on this earth. I was making no impact. I was invisible. I wasn't fulfilled. I wasn't going after anything. So yeah, like, was I happier before I started? Absolutely fucking not. I wasn't happy at all. I was comfortable, but what impact was I making? It doesn't matter how I feel right now. If I'm doing something that impacts other people, if I'm doing something that is using my natural abilities to impact other people in the world, then that is worth more than any pain that I could ever go through right now. Like, think of all the greatest people in this earth. Like, literally Jesus. You know how much pain and suffering he went through? And the amount of impact he made? Like, I would rather impact the world and die at a young age than live to like 80 and comfortable with no stories to tell. I'd rather be 33 and like people talking about me like in a dinner table. Like, I think I got this from the movie Whiplash. That movie changed my life. But it is so true. Like, a life of impact means so much more. Like, it genuinely does. But yeah, that was definitely like my breaking point. Like, some tears started to come out, and I was like in the study room, and I was looking at the drawings of like SpongeBob and Patrick, and I started to realize that like this life is not this deep. Like, life is not meant to be taken this seriously, and I feel like that's the main thing I've struggled with in my entire life, is taking life too seriously. Because the more serious we take life, the harder it will be to take action, and the more miserable we will become. Like, most of the stress that you have in this life is something that you create. You create this stress in your mind because you're taking life too seriously. It is not that serious. Like, I guarantee you, that energy that you're putting into trying to control something that you cannot control, put the energy into something that you can actually control by taking action and figuring it out along the way. Because I guarantee you, whatever you're going through is not that deep. So I think I was just taking life way too seriously, and I think the biggest shift that I'm making is to just detach from the outcome. I'm not trying to escape anything. I'm trying to find peace in the storm, because I'm always going to have problems. There's always going to be something to do. And sitting still is fine. Like I don't have to be constantly moving. I don't have to be constantly doing something. Like sitting still is okay because I'm finding peace in the storm. Like I'm gonna do the most I can to do to achieve my purpose, and when my dream life comes, then it'll come when I most deserve it. And yeah, I essentially said like I chose to have like an extraordinary life. I didn't choose this path, but God gave me this path and I chose to embrace it. Right? And how did I even know that I was gonna have an extraordinary life? It's because I never felt comfortable in a normal life. I never fit in anywhere. I literally sat alone at lunch. Well, I didn't sit alone, but I sat with people. I didn't talk, and I was even more alone. I would just sit there on my phone, eating my lunch, my fucking Uncrustable, not talking to anyone, looking like a. But I'm not mad at myself for that. It's just like I always knew I was meant for an extraordinary life, and I asked God, right? I was like, give me an extraordinary life, give me an amazing life, and He gave me that life. And an extraordinary life means reaching the highest highs in the world and also the lowest lows. Why would you want that life? It's because that's how life is meant to be lived. Like living a boring, comfortable, mediocre life is just not worth it. An extraordinary life is feeling the highest highs that you possibly can, that some people won't even see, the high, the awes, the soul-crushing lows. It's just what makes life worth living. Without those highs, those lows wouldn't feel as low, and without those lows, those highs wouldn't feel that high. So it's like that's just what life is, and that's why I chose to go down this path. That's why I know that the storm that I'm in right now is not the lowest part of my life, but just a part of the process, and I'm loving every part of it. And that's pretty much it. I mean, I journaled for like 3 more pages. I'm trying to have this mindset of like this one more mentality, right? Like one more video, one more day, one more call. Like, I don't know if you ever seen the movie, like, I think it's Hacksaw Ridge. It's like he's gonna save one more person, just one more. It's like it's the same thing with every single thing that you're trying to do. Like, you just have to give up a little bit right now. Just give up a little bit of comfort. Get a little willpower just to do one more. Just everything that you have. Like, empty your energy clip. Like, just do one more, and then one more, and then you're gonna get one more, and then you're gonna win. That feeling's gonna be different. Like, one more failure, you're gonna fail over and over again. You're gonna fail, and then you're gonna win. Like, imagine how good that win will feel. Imagine how addictive you will be when you get that win. And then it's only up from there. If you have this one more mentality, like, you're literally unstoppable. There's something that can stop you if you're always doing one more. It's just taking steps. Stop trying to think of the whole path. You're trying to take this giant leap, and then once you fail, you just give up. But just do one more call. You have a negative thought, push it aside, and then one more call, and then you succeed, and then you'll forget about all the failures, all the setbacks. Failures don't even exist. The only way it can fail is by staying complacent. Failures are only setbacks. But yeah. I literally said this is a pivot in my life. This video is a complete pivot in my life. That's why I'm documenting this process. It's because I'm choosing comfort in chaos. My life will always be chaotic. There will always be something. And if you find comfort in the chaos, then you will always find peace in any part of your life. So that's all. This was definitely a deep video. So comment literally anything that you're going through, or any part that you'd like me to elaborate on more. Comment anything that you liked about this video. Comment anything that you're going through, and I'll read it and I'll reply to it, because I reply to every single comment. That's the whole point of being an influencer. I don't even know what this is. That's the whole point of this. I want to see what you guys are going through. I want to see if you guys like this style of content. It's more raw, authentic, just off the cuff, like documentary content. So yeah, it's time to start living in your evolved reality.